How much money have you made with apps?
Around 10 million in sales.
This guy made over $10 million from selling iPhone apps on Looksmaxing and Rizzing girls, all by 23. So we flew all the way out to San Diego to link up with this guy, Blake Anderson. He used ChatGPT to make a ton of money, but it wasn't always easy for Blake. At one point, he was straight degen, smoking, partying, and barely having $200 left in his bank account. Not knowing if it would sink or swim, he created Rizz GPT. And with a do or die mindset, he made it happen. And now we're here to see just how Blake did it. Because let's be honest, I tried mewing too, but I never made 8 figures off it.
All right, guys, what's good? We're here in San Diego, California. We're linked up with my man, Blake. We are going to film a day in the life with him. He's got some of the coolest businesses I think I've seen in a minute, so let's dive in. It's a compound, bro. What are you guys doing here? Did you just get this house, or?
Yeah, so we're renting it. I don't own it, but we just got it about 2 months ago, and we're calling it the Apex House. This is where we are going to be building my next company. That's our whiteboard. We do our daily check-ins here.
So you got a team here. You got like 4 or 5 guys on the team here.
Yeah, we've got myself, Jesse, Kling. Tommy's been working with us too.
Oh, it's good, dude.
Here we've got Apex Kling.
Good to meet you, bro. Austin.
Hell yeah.
Nice to meet you.
You know what? Let's take a look at the garage. This is kind of funny. This is what the garage looks like.
It's a boy's garage right here.
It goes about like 15 feet back there, just full of boxes. We're gonna be getting rid of them. Bedroom right here. Tommy's been working in here.
So how many guys do you have here again?
3 living here full time.
There's another guy.
There's the third.
Yeah.
Jesse a bed.
How's it going? Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Betty. Thanks for coming.
Jesse's getting some work done in the little studio here.
This is wild.
So this is where we take a lot of our calls while other people are working. We've got a good amount of space.
Boys ever throwing the footy out here, or like?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Like multiple times a day.
Yeah.
I really like nice views, be able to look out hundreds of yards, miles into the distance. That to me helps me think a lot more clearly.
You don't even have to leave the house just to get some fresh air and clear your mind. Like, that's unreal.
Vast landscape or amount of land behind your house.
Yeah.
We've got valley out there where we go on runs.
Hikes and stuff too. Big nature guys, do you need that space?
Big time. Ocean, hiking, like whenever I'm living or spending a lot of time in a city, I really prioritize my ability to think clearly. I think somewhere like this is very conducive.
Where did you
to that.
grow up again?
I grew up outside of Philadelphia in the suburbs, but it was a very hilly, foresty area. Like you couldn't drive down a street without being enveloped in like a canopy, almost a tunnel formed by the trees.
Right.
And I spent a lot of time going on walks in the nearby nature parks. But we've got a nice view of the kitchen here.
Is that a hot tub over there?
It is.
Oh damn, you guys got a tub too?
Yeah.
Late night.
Fire pit, hot tub, little workout area. It's nice to be able to just like hop up here throughout the day, hit a few pull-ups.
This guy just pulls up in the middle of the video. He's like, yeah, just a couple pull-ups. Oh man, he's ripping like 30 just so.
You gotta get the pump in for the video, huh?
Oh, fuck.
There we go.
There we go. Come on, boy.
There we go.
All right. We still gotta save it for the gym. Holy fuck, almost ate it there, bro. Gym.
Resistance bands, assault bike. I fucking love the assault bike. Box jump.
Box jumps.
Who's got the highest vert?
Highest vert gotta be me, you know.
Oh, okay.
You know, I'm like 5'8", 5'9", but I will be dunking by the end of 2025. Brings us right into the workstation. Kling's desk, Jesse's desk, my desk, and then if someone's being really bad, they get put in timeout.
Yeah.
If I'm coding, I'm always doing it here.
Give the people a little more understanding what you mean by coding, because like that in itself is a whole different game.
Yep, let's do it. An app that I'm currently working on. This is the Apex Improve application. So coding, I think, is very similar to surfing, video editing, where your returns are non-linear. So if you code once a week for 50 weeks, you'll have 50 sessions. Or if you code once a day for 50 days, you'll have 50 sessions. But you'll see significantly more improvement over the course of those 50 days than you will see over 50 weeks. So returns are non-linear. They are actually somewhat exponential or quadratic in nature. And then when I built my first application, Rizz GPT, I spent about 12 hours a day for over a month just behind the computer coding, only coding. That was it. This is Cursor. It's like an AI IDE. I'm not very good at coding, so like there are definitely other people to listen to.
This is crazy.
I started building Rizz GPT right as I was graduating from school senior year. I went to Tulane University and I was essentially between like get a normal full-time job, try to do something on my own. Now my parents weren't doing too well financially at the time. I was like this is my final shot. My older brother is giving me loans for groceries. I'm holed up in the attic of my parents' house while it is about to go on the market.
So you didn't come from money. There was no money given to you to build any of this. This was all personal funds or people helping you out.
My father was a successful entrepreneur early on, up until I was around 12, 13 years old. And for reasons that I don't want to dive too deep into, he has some neurological issues, one of which being SPMS, secondary progressive multiple sclerosis, affects the brain and body. His businesses essentially hit the downhill from when I was like 12 or 13. Then by the time I was graduating college, we were pretty much out of money. My parents had to sell the house. I moved back home. My older brother's giving me loans for groceries. And I'm like, this is my last real chance. I built Rizz GPT. And you know, it's funny, I kind of tell this story. I'm like, it was like my last shot, burned the boats, whatever. Right. And everyone's like, dude, your last shot, you're making out to be dramatic and you built a fucking app called a Rizz GPT. And you know, it's funny in retrospect. So we build this app. I find these two underrated, unknown creators on TikTok, pay them each $50. Bang, overnight viral. 2 million views, 4 million views, hundreds of thousands of downloads.
How much money have you made with apps?
Yeah, so we can start off, I can show the revenue across each application and we can total that up. So here we have Cal AI, which is at 2.4 million. Now this is just iOS. So we've got 2.4 right now. Now we're gonna go to improvement tech. This is UMax 4.2. So we had 2.4 plus 4.2, so 6.6. Vert Media Partners, this is Rizz GPT, a lifetime. So 6.6 plus 2.6, which is 9.2. And then add in Android revenue. I think that I'm right about around 10 million in sales. And now profit attributable to myself. Now that said, I'm giving money to my parents as well as my older brother, closer to 2.5 to 3, but then money to my parents and brother. And then the thing about these businesses is, as you can see, like they don't just die. Like Rizz GPT is still doing 200 a month. UMax is still doing 350 to 400 a month. Granted, Apple takes 30% of that, but the way that I look at it is like if I were to stop working today, the amount of money that would profit that would be attributable to myself would be at least in the range of like 5 to 10 million. And now after taxes and everything, I don't intend to try to evade taxes in any way. Yeah, I intend to put at least a few million into making Apex succeed. At this point in time, I think I've put about 1 million. So yeah, I guess that is a long-winded answer.
How are you getting people to these apps?
It's primarily via influencer marketing. We also engage in internal UGC, user-generated content. We do paid platform ads, so Meta, TikTok, that sort of thing. So everything. But influencers are our most profitable strategy. Austin's asking whether or not we have initiation for Apex. I'm thinking about it. I'm like, I don't know. You know, maybe we should. Perfect timing, boys.
Said, how do we turn Austin into Apex Austin?
Wow.
Yo, what are they? Organic?
This is low-key a poor use of eggs, though.
Dude, this is a poor use of time, of everything I can think of.
Alright, we'll see if Jesse and I can do our 6s faster than you guys can do 3.
I think I could do 3.
Alright, we going like 2v2 here. The thing about us doing this for content is we actually just used to do this shit for fun.
Perfect.
We just
We
played.
and me. $100.
6 on 3? Go on.
No, 500.
Okay,
500. You want to do this? $500 for whoever finishes this first.
Like, what are we betting?
Throw it.
3, 2, 1. Yeah! Wow, you actually got close, so I'll give you that, bro. That was well done. Well done. Oh my gosh.
Yo, what happened there?
What did you do, bro?
All right, we're here with the boys. We're getting a quick lift in. As always, you need that balance. You gotta work hard. You gotta work hard in the gym. Lifting 7 days a week.
We lift like 5 or 6 days a week, but we work out like twice a day. So
We're going from like, well, I guess at least Kling and I, from doing other shit, and Blake obviously grinding his other businesses, to now doing lifestyle shit full time. So like, we want to get at surfing, good at boxing. We want to run a marathon in March. Honestly, stay strong. So we got to be prioritizing this stuff.
We just finished up the gym. The boys are all coming out. I say we do something in the water, rinse off a bit. What are we doing? Are we surfing?
Figure we're already sweaty.
Yeah.
Never a better time to save yourself a shower. I actually get wet like 6 times a day on, you know, probably more than half the days a week I'm getting wet 6 times. Got Tommy here, professional surfer, 16 years. Got me like a little bit over 16 days.
16 seconds over here, so.
Probably the worst surfer who ever had a GoPro on their board. Now that said, I'm not afraid of filming myself now when I'm still, you know, really bad. Because in a year, when I'm hucking air, it'll be really cool to look back on this. Holy shit, I'm not even riding this, I'm just fucked. Oh no. No. You got this.
Nah, we're done. What happened?
What didn't happen, bro? I couldn't breathe for 20 minutes. Hard as hell. I snowboard, skateboard, wakeboard, all this stuff, but I can't seem to even stand up for half a second out there. These guys are freaking making me look like a joke.
When I was growing up, I've always been like very entrepreneurial in nature, running lemonade stands every weekend, hustling on the internet from as young as I can remember. But I wrote like an ebook titled How to Make Money. I think it was How to Make Money as a 7-year-old when I was like 8 or 9 years old.
When you told your parents you wanted to be an entrepreneur, was that ever a worry for them?
Not really. Like, they just wanted to make sure that I was okay. They were always supportive up until when I graduated from college and told them that I wasn't going to get a normal job.
Right.
I'd never done normal internships. I've never had a real job in my entire life.
Wow, okay.
I've always just figured out various ways to make money.
It seems like you go into businesses with a long-term vision always.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah.
I don't think about business in regards to like, how can I make $10 million? I think about it in regards to how can I maximize my impact in the footprint that I leave on the world. It's nonsensical to think about money in the short term. You just need to think about how you can get the necessary resources in order to build out the long-term vision.
Right, yeah, so impact. I think that sounds like what your North Star is, having an impact, a long-lasting impact, especially once you're gone. What's that like, bringing your boys onto that too? Like, obviously you work with 2 of your best buddies from, you know, college.
I think that they have a lot of trust in me and my decision making, and I have a lot of trust in theirs. We each have our primary domains within the company and the sort of processes and stacks in which we own, you know? I've learned lessons over my time in entrepreneurship, and I just want to be able to transfer them to my co-founders as quickly and efficiently as possible, and to recognize that none of us should have an ego,
right?
And we should all just focus on the information and decisions at hand.
Finally got back after an absolute failed shred. This guy's shred, I don't know what I'm doing.
I did decent, but attachment came off of my board. So I was holding this thing on my mouth the whole time, and I fucking bit through it, and you can also see all of these bite marks. I had it in my mouth for about an hour. So that was fun.
Instead of eating GoPros, we're gonna eat some steak here. So we got, how many steaks do we got here?
7. I think we got 7 steaks going right now.
7 steaks.
Let's go.
3 cups of rice. 2 pounds of asparagus. Blake's gonna make a kale salad. We got a little steak, rice, and salad for dinner. We shoved up some USDA choice ribeye. Didn't have the primes in house, so we went choice. Made some rice on the stove, and Blake, talk about your salad.
It's kale. You massage the kale with olive oil. Diced up some apples, walnuts, avocado, lemons, and then some sauce. And then once again, I massaged up some more of that.
For a second time. After all this.
Did he mention you massaged the can?
I always had very high expectations in regards to like everything that I did. Sports, Academics. My mom was great. My dad's a little bit cuckoo, but he's smart and super fucking hardworking. And so I think that sort of combination ultimately good for me. Though I was super rebellious as a kid. I sold a lot of drugs,
Really?
alcohol.
Dude, you're an entrepreneur at heart, eh? That was the start.
Degenerate in high school, degenerate in college, but always had some of that like entrepreneurial spirit.
I think in college, which is where we all got to know each other, he came across as a kid who like whatever he did it 100%. Even just like test taking, like whatever he was doing it harder than anybody and better than anybody.
I'd be in the gym. You know, it's a college gym. Everyone's trying to act cool, do their part, and then you just hear this one man just manly grunting. And you look, and it's Blake with his over-the-ear headphones, just grinding on his workout, going 100%, not giving a shit what anyone's like looking at or thinking or anything like that.
Fuck, you were that guy? Damn, that's tough. Where you are now, if there was a piece of advice you were gonna give to Blake in high school selling drugs, what would that be?
Keep pushing.
Push product.
Keep pushing what?
Keep pushing fucking life. Super rebellious, super like angry at the world.
Where did that stem from, do you think?
I don't know. I've always had like a serious issue with authority figures. I would rather live at the extreme with a fucking 50% chance that it all crashes and burns. I'm fucking dead broke, drug addict on the street, than to live a super monotonous life.
That's real though, bro. How much are your expenses right now? Because realistically, this is being funded essentially by you.
We mapped it out. We think that we're gonna probably lose about 60 to 70K a month minimum for the foreseeable future.
And that income's from the apps currently still.
They still cash flow like a couple hundred a month.
Wow, that's awesome. So that allows you to fund this whole bigger vision now.
Exactly. Very quickly, Rizz GPT was a business doing $200,000 a month, and I was still walking to and from the Starbucks.
I think a lot of your story comes back to like trying to just build a fucking lore. Even the way you talk, sometimes I feel like just the way you think about things. Yeah, he's like, so basically.
He gets so serious. He really wants
Holy fuck! Like, I'm about to fucking go down a storyline here. Long day with the Apex boys, Blake, all the guys, fucking crushing it here. We wanted to say first of all, appreciate you guys having us out. This has been fucking sick,
Thanks for
dude.
coming out,
Thank you for having us. I think what you're doing is really inspiring. I want to just thank you for letting us come into your house. This was sick. We got to see everything. We got to see the cars, the business, the boys. So the day doesn't end here. We got you a little gift.
Ooh, here we go.
Actually, you can just open. You just go through them.
Let's
I'm
do
gonna
it.
let you
Dude,
go.
I saw this company.
We got you a couple things here. So apparently,
nice.
this is apparently like, I don't know, we talked to the guys there. They said everyone's after this. There's like some old lady that still runs this company, and she's like one of the OGs for these.
This is sick.
Astro.
We got some
stuff.
wax.
This apparently is the best wax they have. Obviously, we saw you surf more than me, but you needed something to. We got you a watch.
Oh, this is sweet.
Yeah.
You can track the tide of multiple different surf spots on here.
Oh, no way.
And so like you don't have to look on Surfline, you can just look at the conditions in your watch.
Fuck yeah. Thank you very
Of
much.
course,
This is
dude.
sweet.
Check out his WAP. He's gonna be dropping some resources, dropping some game on how he runs all these businesses. So if you guys want it, it's in the description. Dive in. You guys know he's fucking building some cool shit.